Hello YouTube. Today I'm making another tutorial. This is gonna be part of the random tricks for game make tutorial. This one is rather advanced like the previous ones, but I'll be making more basic ones in the future. So in this one, it's gonna be how to make one object revolve around another object. So let's get started. I came up with this idea by thinking what would happen if the direction of a object increased as it became close to a different object. I'm gonna load a little animation I made in graphic scale so you can get a grasp of how this works. So in this case, we're gonna make it revolve around the mouse. So there's your mouse, and there's the object we're talking in this case. So we're gonna make it move towards the mouse. So there's to move towards the mouse. So now it's moved towards the mouse. Its angle or its direction increases. So when it moves closer, it'll move slightly more in a different direction. So you see that, and then but now that it's moving out in that direction, it's farther away. So the amount that it moves in that direction decreases again. So it moves farther closer to the mouse. So that process repeats over and over again. And let's see, it comes to look like this. So it's sort of a circular pattern. It's basically constantly moves closer, the direction increases, so it moves farther away, and then the direction increases again, so it becomes closer, and it's roughly forms a circular pattern. Okay. So now let's make our first sprite. Only one sprite in this game, which is going to be the ball we're going to make revolve around the mouse. So call it SPR ball, edit sprite, that subimage, and make a simple circle. Let's make it filled in. I'm going to make mine just a simple black color. Alright. Now create your first and only object. OJ ball. Sprite. So let's go to the Crease event. Alright, so first off, speed equals 5, because it's not going to go anywhere if speed equals 0, so that's just common sense. And then we want the direction to equal point direction XY mouse X mouse Y. So this thing is basically the direction a line would have if it's at a point on XY and a point on mouse X mouse Y. So this basically makes you go towards the mouse.
I just saw you, bro.
So now let me create a variable. Let's call R. Say R equals 5,000. This is going to be the variable that discerns how far away the mouse is, or I mean the object is going to be from the mouse. So now let's go into the step event. And code. So type down if not distance to point mouse X mouse Y equals 0. Okay, this is saying the exclamation part makes the opposite of whatever comes next. And so this says the distance to point mouse X mouse Y equals 0. So whenever this distance point mouse Y mouse X mouse Y doesn't equal 0, then we want whatever here to happen. We also want to program what will happen if it does equal 0. So copy that and take away the exclamation mark. You'll see in a second why the 0 is there, but you'll get a glitch if you don't do it this way. So type down direction equals, like I said earlier, we want, or like I said in the beginning, the idea is that your direction will increase the closer you get to the object or the mouse. So you want to have it pointed towards the mouse. Take whatever the angle would be pointing towards the mouse. Point direction X, Y, mouse, X, mouse, Y. So then that's the value for the direction when you're pointing towards the mouse, and we need to add the how close you are to it, basically. So let's add distance to point mouse X mouse Y. Okay, so this would probably work right here, but earlier we made the R value, which shows the radius of it. So let me explain this quickly. The larger this value, the more you'll move away. So if we wanted the radius to be more, you'd want this value to be larger. In other words, that means that the R, or the radius, and this value will vary directly. So in order to do that, we would do R divided by that. If you think it through a little bit, it's the only way that you can use this concept, because you multiplied it, then this value would become smaller as R got larger, and we don't want to do that. So because we added that R value, we need to add some extra brackets around here to make sure that it all works for it. Then we need one more bracket there, and it should even out. No glitch. Okay, good. Alright. So the problem with it when the distance point mouse X equals 0 is that would mean that, so this equals 0, then you would have whatever the value of R is divided by 0. So we would put in the same thing as we have here. Oops. Only we'd take this out completely. It would be basically the same thing. Alright, so let's create a room. Just add the ball. And yeah, it should work. You can see that if you move the mouse around, it tries moving towards it. And if I leave my mouse there, it goes in a perfect circle around the mouse. So now I'm going to show you a trick. If you go here, so we didn't make that R variable for nothing. We want you to be able to change it so that you can change the radius of the ball. So let's add event, mouse, scroll, wheel up, sorry, not scroll. So type down R plus equals 100. Simple enough, add 100 to the R value. So the mouse wheel down, type down R minus equals 100. You subtract 100 from the R value. So now it should, the radius should change when you scroll. So there we have it, exactly the same thing is happening. When I scroll up, well, can't really see it very well, but it did go up quite a bit. Let's see. Seeing as took a lot of scrolling, but as you see, it's going off, it just went off the screen, so it's obviously bigger. It turns out that 100 probably is too little. Maybe I should put down 500 because it takes a lot of scrolling to make a good move. But you see the concept. I'm sure you can mess around with this and make something pretty cool. So let me show you what I did with it after I messed around with it. So let me just say this quickly. This is what I made when I started messing around with it. I'll put a link to it in the description. So I added a background, and instead of making it the mouse, I made it a ball which I can move with the arrow keys. And if I click, it'll create balls, and each ball will
Balls?
create these orbs. So I added randomness to the speed, and also to the shape, to the size, and I also made several sprites that I could possibly use. So it looks pretty cool. And right in there in the middle shows the number of these orbs that are in the room. So I think it's pretty cool. Let's scroll up. Works pretty well. So yeah, I've got over 1,000 before with that, and it looks pretty cool. Alright, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and got something out of it. Please rate, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.